Welcome to episode 22 of Future Unscripted. I'm Aubrey Curiosity here with Lydie Jean, and today we're switching things up. This isn't our usual format. Instead, we are bringing you an epic recap of a game-changing session we had with the one and only Evan Carmichael, where we were lucky enough to have our YouTube channels reviewed. He gave us feedback on our thumbnails, our titles, monetization strategy, and we talked about what it means to be a successful content creator overall.
Yes. And let's talk about who Evan Carmichael is, because this guy, if you didn't know him, his journey is straight fire. He's built a massive following. We're talking over 4 million subscribers. During the session we had with Tom Bilyeu, he was introduced as, and I quote, one of the most exceptional YouTube experts on planet Earth. Wow. Tom also calls him the maestro who helped him make millions. Evan is a generous genius. He talks about thought leadership and crushing perfectionism. So a huge thank you again to Evan for joining our group and reviewing our channels.
We are beyond grateful for his time and for his insights. And we're sharing 3 big takeaways today. We're talking about building connections. We're talking about focusing on our thoughts over production and bonding through our stories. Let's hype up this wisdom, dive right in to level up your YouTube and entrepreneurial journey.
Hey, awesome. Aubrey, how are you today?
I'm doing well, Lydie. How are you doing?
I'm awesome. I'm so excited to talk about this. I mean, I think we
Yes.
touched upon this a little bit where Evan joined the community where you and I met. And so I feel we need to maybe tell our audience a little bit more about that. So it was just a couple months ago. You and I met in this fabulous community called Zero to Founder.
Yes. If you don't know Tom Bilyeu, he is an amazing person. Look him up. Do yourself a favor and look him up. This is his community, hosted in school. It's an amazing place. And yeah, that's where we met. And you get access to conversations like this.
Exactly.
Which we're very grateful for.
Absolutely. That community, Zero to Founder, is actually helping founders, kind of level up. And so I'm so beyond grateful for that community, because this is where I met the fabulous Aubrey Curiosity. And so, yeah, look up Tom, like she said. He used to have this thing called impact theory. And yeah, we want to thank him and the whole team for bringing Evan Carmichael to the community to have a deep dive with the community. That was quite epic. And
we have our episode broken into a couple of different portions, because there are probably hundreds of ways we could take this conversation. And our goal is not to overwhelm. Our goal is to provide information that is as useful and helpful as possible. And so for the first portion of this, we want to talk through some of the big takeaways, the big pieces of advice that he had for us, things that we have been talking about ourselves and figuring out on our own. And then in the back half of the episode, we'll get more into the nitty-gritty sort of clips of advice that he's giving us and things like that. So for this first portion, there were a couple of big takeaways. If you are a content creator, and it doesn't matter which platform, these apply to, for this conversation, we specifically were talking about YouTube with Evan, but these are takeaways that could apply to going live on Instagram. They could apply to your Substack page, all pieces of advice that could apply to different channels.
Absolutely.
The first part of this is intentionally looking at, as entrepreneurs, as content creators, how are we forming connections and being intentional about the people we're reaching out to, the people that we want to interview, the people we're in partnership with. And one of the pieces of advice that Evan had for all of us in the community was around a business development strategy that is leveraging connections who can refer you clients. What I mean by that is, if you have a YouTube show and you're looking to get more views, you're looking to get more practice speaking on camera, this is a good time to reach out to people who serve your ideal client and who are in the rooms with your ideal client and see if you can have a conversation with them. The example that he gave were lawyers, CPAs, financial managers. Like, who are the people in the rooms with your ideal client? And would they be willing to come onto your YouTube show and have a conversation? Inviting professionals like people who advise your ideal client. It's a way to provide value for them because you're getting footage interviewing them. They have a chance to speak about their areas of expertise on camera, and that's content that they can use. So they're getting a free video asset out of it. You're offering value from the very beginning. And in return, you are making a connection with somebody who could either help you in your own business or who can refer you to future clients in an authentic way. What were your thoughts on that strategy when he first shared it with us?
Can I just say it was probably my favorite part because it actually was a really big eye opener. And I thought, what a genius way to leverage, and kind of grow. Because sometimes you're sitting here, and I know a lot of people are trying to do this thing called social media, right? You're trying to create content, but not because you're trying to be famous or anything. You're trying to basically advertise who you are and what you do. And so the fact that you can leverage professionals, they're already doing the thing that is related to what you're talking about. And you're leveraging their own audience, their own clients, their own contacts. And you know what they say, we're 6 connections away from knowing everybody in the world. So that's just another
Kevin Bacon.
Yes, I love that. That's just another way to kind of, connect and expand your own horizon. That's what the word I'm looking for, your own reach. So absolutely, that was such amazing advice from Evan. So he's clearly an expert and he knows what he's talking about. So absolutely. I love that part.
Yes. Yes. And the leading with value first isn't just about YouTube. A lot of times when people reach out to us or we reach out to people, it's because they need something or we need something from the person that we're contacting. And for somebody who's really, really busy and you get an email like, hey, could you help me with XYZ? And I don't know you, that's a much harder yes than offering value from the beginning. Like, hey, we can record this conversation. You will walk away with a video asset is much more of an appealing ask because you're leading with the value. So if any of you are coaching clients or are reaching out to individuals that you want to work with, like make sure that you're leading with the value that you bring and not just asking them for favors or referrals.
Absolutely. The Bible says, do unto others like would you want to be, sold to viciously all the time? No. Mm-hmm. So this is just regular human interaction and things to remember as we go about being founders and doing business. Absolutely.
Yes. It's good karma. So the second piece when we were speaking with Evan was, and Lydie and I, this is a big theme in Future Unscripted, hence the name, but it's this idea of working with what we have. So what we talked about with Evan was that the quality of our show, the quality of our episodes, the quality of our thoughts take precedent over the production value. Meaning, start where you are. Mm-hmm. You don't have to have a perfect setup. It probably took me like years to figure out how to use this microphone correctly. Like, just start where you are. Start with what you have. What's coming out of your mouth is much more important than what your setup looks like. Yeah. And start producing quality content. Keep that the priority. What was your reaction when we talked about that with him?
Yeah, absolutely. Because one of my questions for him was, we're recording on this one application, and I mean, the quality of the picture could be perhaps improved. But yeah, that was exactly what he said. There are so many things you could focus on, but you should really focus on your thoughts and what you're trying to bring out into the world. That is actually the more important thing. And you know what? Time and time again, I see that in different other creators that I follow and that I really like, it's not necessary to be in a studio with perfect lighting, the perfect setup. No, it's really about the value you provide. So again, it was bars and bars of great,
Yes.
juicy information. Yeah.
Having the perfect equipment is a great way to procrastinate
Mm,
for years if you want to, because you're
absolutely.
working on it, you're researching it, and I'm laughing because it's what I used to do.
Same.
But that doesn't replace hitting record and just like doing the dang thing. Like,
Absolutely. Even me, like before I did my first recording, I was researching for weeks the camera, that this, I don't even use the camera anymore. Like it's just collecting dust, but it took me forever, right? And then the microphone and this and that. And like, it is not necessary because you're overwhelming yourself by just adding all these things that then you have to sit and learn the tech. I mean, it's creating a whole next level of layers of things. Whereas you could just press record it better and just focus again on what the intention is and what value you're trying to bring.
the third piece for this intro part that we thought was interesting was around building authentic connections with our personal stories. So this ties into number one a little bit more, but when we're reaching out to people for this, we'll call it a new business strategy, where you're inviting somebody to come onto your YouTube channel, you're speaking with them about their own expertise, so that they can get footage, they can get a valuable video asset, and then you can potentially get client referrals. But as you're doing this, make sure that you're leading these conversations with curiosity. Make sure that you are approaching this like a human. You're looking to form a connection first and then talk about business. This ties back to like reaching out to people and asking for something right away for you. It doesn't come off well. Lead with value first. Embrace your curiosity about this person who has graciously said yes to come onto your YouTube show and learn more about them, like asking follow-up questions, hopefully turning these guests into friendships and connections that can, yes, refer you business, but also somebody who you just want to keep in touch with. Like, these are good people to know.
Absolutely. And you know, they say like, it's who you know out there. Have real connections where they really know what you're about, who you are at the core, and hopefully they value the connection. And then organically, you'll start getting referrals. They will tell their people, hey, you need this thing? I know this great person. Her name is Aubrey Curiosity. Here's her card. Here's her website. And then that's the beautiful part of just doing business. At the end of the day, it's about human connections. Absolutely. I'm just here to
Yes.
agree today. Yes, yes, yes. I say yes.
I mean, every person every person is a teacher. They come into our lives to teach us something,
I love
either
that.
quickly or a friendship that forms. Like, it depends, but everyone who comes into our life is a teacher. And so I just want to set up for the next segment of this. This is probably the part you have all been waiting for, because we'll get to see the actual clips of Evan speaking with us and giving us this advice. It won't just be us telling you about the advice.
Yes.
So let's dive into that next. We'll look at a couple of different clips with Evan. So first up, from our Evan Carmichael review, before growing your channel, we need to nail down a high ticket offer that lights us up and go after larger businesses that have real budgets and not be afraid to do so.
Yes. So go after established clients with bigger problems. They're ready to actually pay. And when we say pay, we're talking 5 figures for either your AI expertise or whatever. Let's break this down and watch the clip.
I always love having some kind of offer just so that you can start making money and you don't need to have a million subscribers before like ad
That's
revenue
right.
starts taking off. And targeting solo entrepreneurs is hard because they just don't have a lot of money. So whatever you're gonna do, it's not gonna be like a $50,000 offer. You're like doing $100 or $1,000 at a time or whatever. It's hard. I love entrepreneurs. It's my heart. That's why I do my channel too. And like you need you don't need to do anything, need in air quotes, but finding ways to make money makes it a lot easier so that then you can hire a team and really blow this thing up. So if it's only entrepreneurs and that's it, then is there if you're helping people, with their AI and content creation, then who are successful entrepreneurs? They're not solo entrepreneurs, but there's a lot of successful entrepreneurs whose content still sucks. Like we're in the content game, so we look at it, but there's tons of $1 million plus businesses that have no content. Their Instagram is terrible. They have no YouTube. They don't know what they're doing. Their LinkedIn is atrocious. Like all of their content sucks, and they know they need to build a brand, whether it's a personal brand or company brand. And you could start charging 5 figures to help them do that, right? Whether you want to or not is another question, but they're still entrepreneurs, just not the solo entrepreneurs. To build the solo entrepreneur business, we need a machine, just because there's so many people. If you're selling a $49 thing or $249 or whatever the price point is, I just need so many of them to come through. So have you guys thought about that, or is that
Well,
we're still
that's,
working
yeah,
through it?
we were working through that for sure.
Got
The monetization conversation is actually right now. Like this
Mhm.
Okay.
month, we're like, okay, what are we doing exactly? How do you want to sell?
Oh, that was so good. So, so good. So, for our next takeaway, let's flip the script. Prioritize quick revenue through biz dev interviews to find your team and scale.
So don't build the machine too early. Basically, we want to earn first to fuel impact. Evan nailed this. Here's why it changes everything. Again, watch.
First, I think business model. Like, what are we trying to sell? How are we going to make money off of this? And how do we make 5 figures at a time instead of, one figure, like tens of
Yeah.
thousands instead of 1,000 or hundreds at a time, right? Well,
Yes.
but even if you're making nothing now, it's like, what are we trying to build? Because a solo entrepreneur is not spending 25K to help you, right?
Right.
They just can't. They would love to. They just can't afford it. Like 25K, I can't even pay my rent. I got $25.
Mhm.
Right? And you could it's like, Tom said all these nice things about me at the start. When we have a problem, we go to Evan. I mean, I think I was supposed to talk to Lisa right now, but like Lisa and I've been going back and forth on some stuff. I've helped Tom, what did he say, make millions of dollars. I'm giving you similar advice to what I gave Tom. You just can't leverage it as well as Tom can, and I can't charge you $1 million for the help, right? But bigger, so it's like often as entrepreneurs in general, we underprice ourselves not because we're not valuable, but because we're talking to the wrong people.
Mm.
You're talking to people who can't afford you, and so you discount your prices. If you just talk to people who have the same problems but also have money, they will pay you for it. So if you're really good at AI content strategies, then lots of companies are struggling with that right now. If the goal is to get monetized, those are the people that I would try and go work with first, because the entrepreneur game is going to be it's just a lot longer to build up. And fine, and it's just part of the mission. It's not that you give up on it. It's just sequence. Most people get the sequence wrong. If you start trying to build the machine, it takes so long to build the machine. If you start something that makes money, it actually makes building the machine faster. And you need the machine to change the world. So
I like that. So what would you suggest? Because actually the AI video, there's one of them that is the highest performing one. And so that's definitely like what people kind of want to hear about. And we love AI, her and I, Aubrey and I, so we do it all the time. So what could be the strategy? Should we jump on the bandwagon of like interviewing, like you were saying earlier,
Business
someone in like,
development.
yeah, exactly.
well, biz dev for sure, but we need to know what we're selling. Like, what are we selling into who? And then from there, biz dev is the most
way to go.
likely easiest answer. But great, they know you, they like you. Okay, can I tell you the biggest advice Tom gave me?
Sure.
Please.
Kind of embarrassing. So, but we're all friends here, right?
Yes.
So Tom, Lisa, and a bunch of us, who's been publicly about that? It's like Brendan Burchard and Mel Robbins and a bunch, like Lewis Howes and Jay Shetty and like all of it. We would get together once a year, and we did one in California, and the format is there's like 80 people, or maybe not that many, maybe 50 people sitting around like giant tables. And then it's just, what do you need help with? What do you need help with? And then everybody kind of pours into you. And when it got to me, it's like, I think that I don't know what I need help with, but I think a lot of you guys know me enough to then just tell me where you think I suck and how I can get better. And Tom and Lisa and a couple other people, but Tom and Lisa were like 2 of the 5 people who just destroyed me in front of everybody, which is fine. I asked for it. But basically, it was just, I don't know how to hire you. Like, I don't know how to send you money. Like, you're always helping. I want to pay you. You've helped us like get millions of dollars. How do I pay you more? That was their number one feedback, right? And so even me, I'm connected to all these people, but I don't necessarily have something that so I'm not here selling you guys anything either, right? And that's not the intent. But you could be in front of all the right people, but if they don't know what you're selling and how it can help them, then I love, like, Lydie and Aubrey were awesome. And that's just kind of how it is. But it's like, no, we can help you with this. So that's the first thing to figure out is like, what is the offer? Not just that can make money, but that you love doing. Like you genuinely love. If it's AI content, cool. Then if it's AI content strategy, then what's the highest potential yield for that? Like, who needs it? Who has the biggest problem around that will pay you to solve the problem? Me solving your YouTube problem, you won't pay me as much as me solving Tom and Lisa's YouTube problem. Not because of a lack of desire, just like they can leverage it into a lot more than you guys can right now, right? So same thing for you. Serving a solo entrepreneur, they might desperately need it, but have no ability to fund you guys anywhere close to what you're worth, versus other companies who desperately need it and are losing money every month and like need to solve this problem right now and will give you $100,000 to go do it, right? So if it's just, if you don't care who you're talking to, or you have the ability to solve the more challenging problem, then go and do that, because you'll make more, which then fundamentally gives you the money to then build the machine to help everybody. Because most of what I do is free, right? But it's only because I'm making money through the things I'm doing that I can come and do free things. So biz dev, yes, but that's a strategy. But to achieve what goal? Who do we need to talk to, and what are we selling? So that's the first thing to figure out. But you figure that out. I would look like, what's a 5-figure plus? Like, I don't want to sell anything with less than 5 figures at the start. So what's your $10,000 plus package that you're selling? And just even as a worst case, like as a mental exercise for a couple of days, we have to sell something that's $10,000 plus. If that's what we had to do, what does our business look like? Who are we targeting? What are we selling? At least see that through mentally to see if that you can get excited by it, because it's not going to be a solo entrepreneur yet. Solo entrepreneurs will come down the line.
Right.
Then we design a content strategy around that. So it's biz dev to get the people on who can be the intros for you.
All right, that was amazing. So the last gem now is your personal brands can thrive alongside our joint venture. Keep Future Unscripted focused on AI topics. What do you think?
So we can use solo episodes to talk about our unique passions and then align on goals to avoid risk. Evan's advice here is absolute gold. Let's dive in.
About the personal brands. Then each of you also make a video once a week with your own level of expertise that still revolves around AI content. Like, if one of you is the creative person, the other person's like the more strategic person, it's usually how it breaks down on how you guys break down. The one's like the salesperson, the other person's like the super in the weeds, nerdy, geeky person. Then you can go deep on your thing once a week each, and then come back to the together for the episode that you guys have. If you're doing biz dev, then now it just creates how much time you guys have. So if you don't have that much time to create, then like biz dev is the most important thing. Put that out. Your second show could be you guys sharing your thoughts. And then your solo episodes could also switch between the week. Like, 1 week it's Lydie, 1 week is Aubrey, right? So that
So
you
the
rotate
solo
between
should live here because we have we have different channels. I have my channel. She has hers.
It doesn't need to. It just can support. First off,
Yeah.
it's easier to have one channel for just production and for strategy and analytics and all of it. It's just easier to have it combined, right?
Okay.
Just in general. Partnerships are tough sometimes, so There's reputational risk, and just if the content is there and then all of a sudden you hate each other for whatever reason, and I don't know, right? Then it's like then the brand's separated could be better. Or if you're not, if like Aubrey just really wants to make daily content, but then that wouldn't work here because it's too much compared to everything else, and you have some content on Aubrey's channel, and Aubrey then makes solo episodes on here. But I would try to make this content geared towards us getting ideal clients, and this whole idea of using AI and whether it's AI content to help brands and companies get their message out to the world. And then on your solo channels, could be whatever else you want. Like Lydie, you're gonna post some salsa dancing, or you have other passions or interests,
Yeah.
right? Like then it could be all over the place, and like that's your actual personal brand. Where this channel is dedicated to helping business owners unlock AI to grow their companies.
Gotcha. Got it.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah, that last portion was amazing, especially we are doing a partnership channel, which isn't applicable to everybody, but those were some of the questions we had around, we're doing this together, but we also have our own businesses. How do we put all of this together? So Lydie, what did you think about all that advice?
I mean, it was actually like an epic experience. Like this advice was so on point. I feel that you and I sat together and dissected it, but there's like, even rewatching this whole thing again, we could probably do a little bit more like of, soul searching, but I know we're going to be updating everyone. So stay tuned to the following episodes on, all of what future Unscripted is going to be and what us individually are going to be doing. So I'm so excited for, everything that's coming.
Yes, thank you for being with us here today, and be on the lookout for us implementing the advice that you saw in this episode. We will be implementing it too. Let us know how it's going for you as well. Post in the comments. We love hearing from all of you. And thanks for being here. We'll see you next time on Future Unscripted.